Hey guys, welcome back. So you may remember a few months ago I bought a 3D printer, and one of those cheap DIY Chinese build it yourself kind of printers, and it was too good of a deal to pass up. So since I got it, it has been running almost non-stop, and maybe you've seen some of my videos with all my 3PO parts that I've been working on, and been printing R2 parts and all kinds of random stuff, thermal detonators and lightsabers. Now, one of the things that I have been trying to print, and I'd love to get a whole collection of these, are the Star Wars blasters. I always love them and fascinated with all the firearms from Star Wars, and I've been making the little pieces here and there as I print other items. Like when I'm printing a C3PO arm or one of these kind of pieces, I will shoehorn in some parts off of a blaster onto the print bed, so something else is printing at the same time. So these three are kind of at a finished state as far as the print goes, and they will get painted and all that. But right now they're like the full gun is here, so we're gonna take a look real quick. The first one I did is the Biker Scout pistol, which has been one of my favorite Star Wars guns since I was a little kid. I love this one, and eventually I'll have a Biker Scout, have a helmet up there. I'd like to have a finished costume one day, but I always liked this blaster. And then a few years ago, maybe 2 years ago, somebody put the files for this online for free, and this was before I had my printer, but I was using Shapeways at the time to print a lot of stuff for 3PO. So I was like, well, I can take that model and make it so that it'll print on Shapeways, because the way they print is a little different than using an extrusion printer, kind of what I have here. So I got the model, opened it in 3CO Max, and I ended up remodeling almost the entire gun to be printed on Shapeways, and I never had it done. So that kind of setup doesn't really work for the extrusion printer. So I went back on Thingiverse and looked around, and I found that someone had modified the files that were out there. So this is a little bit better, very similar most respects, but they changed the way it goes together. So it basically all press fits together. There we go. God, I look like such a weakling on camera. Every time I go to take something apart, I'm struggling. But everything press fits together real nice, and it stays together very, very nicely. And it's just a good design. It's kind of fun to take it apart. But it's pretty soon I'm gonna glue it all up, and I'm gonna paint it, and it's gonna look like a screen used one. Which I saw the screen used one again recently in New York on display, and I took a lot of photos of it. And this is a very, very nicely done model. There's a couple little things that aren't quite perfect, but overall it's really good. The scale feels right. It's nice. The person who posted this, let me see, I wrote this down here. The username on Thingiverse.com. I'll put all the links below, but it's custom 3D stuff is the username, and it's called the Improved Imperial Scout Trooper Blaster is the name of this file. So if you're going to search for it, Improved Imperial Scout Trooper Blaster by Custom 3D Stuff. That's this one right here. Again, link below. The next one I finished was Reys Blaster, which is, I think it's a nice model. Goes together easy. It's pretty easy to print. One thing, actually there's two of these on Thingiverse. There's two different Reys Blaster models. I don't know if they're related. They look almost the same, but this is a pretty simple design, so I'd imagine that, if you had good photos, your 3D models will look pretty similar. But the other one, the side panel opens up, and I guess you can put electronics in there, and it's got this little piece is supposed to be knurled, and this one doesn't have a little knurled nut on the hammer. I don't know what this is supposed to be, the safety, I don't know. But the other one does have the knurled little nut here. I'm trying to think of any other differences. That's all that I know. But when I started to print this one is posted by lilykill, Lilykill, and it's called the Star Wars Star Wars -NN-44- Reys Blaster. No apostrophe in Reys. It's just Reys Blaster. Reys Blaster. by lilykill. When I went to print this, I started to print it. You can see here's the handle, about 3 layers deep, 5 layers deep maybe, and it just looked small. So I stopped my print, I put my hand over the thing, and it just seemed too little. So I measured it with some calipers, and I figured, you know, this handle looks a lot like the broom-handled Mauser handle, you know, kind of like this gun. It's a very similar handle design. So I figured it should probably be about the same size. So I measured this, and then I have a Mauser replica metal one, and measured the handle there, and I scaled this up till the handles were just about the same size, which ended up being 120%, which is 1.2 on the scale factor. And I had to scale up all the parts, and it printed. I feel like the size feels right, feels accurate. It does have a trigger, and when the trigger's there, my finger fits nicely. You can see on this one that my finger barely fits through the trigger guard even without the trigger, so that's not good. But yeah, now it fits. I dropped the trigger in the kitchen and I kicked it under the stove like a moron, doing like some kind of like a Charlie Chaplin move where I went to pick it up and accidentally kicked it with my toe and it under the crack. So I got to print a new one because I'm an idiot. So anyway, Reys blaster, link below for that. And my favorite one so far is Hans Deal 44, which is the model for this is called the file. I got all of these on Thingiverse. So the model for this is called the Mauser C96 model with flash hider and scope, and it is by RonPossible. That is who posted this model. And this one is really cool. The whole model disassembles a lot. Like all these pieces come apart. It just, the whole thing comes apart. What was I gonna say? Oh, so because it's so good, the few things that bum me out about it are that the hammer here doesn't move at all. So once it's glued in place, it's stuck there. And what sucks about that is that all the internal bits on this gun move. You can actually cock it, does everything, but once the hammer's in place, you can't move any of that stuff anymore. Right now, this is all held together with hot glue, so technically I could like pop it all apart and show you. We'll take a look at that in a second, actually. I'll pull it apart. And then my other complaint would probably be that the grill here is actually part of the lower receiver on the model. It would be really nice if this was a separate piece. Let's take this thing apart and take a look. I won't take it all the way apart. I'm going to see if I can pull some of these parts out without breaking it. I don't know if I can. I might be making a fool of myself. There we go. There we go. So something popped off, and when I felt it hit my arm. Anyway, so scope comes off. Now this is a whole bunch of pieces. We'll take this off here, and then I will pop the hammer out, pop out the safety. There we go. Now, let's see. Now you can see the whole slide moves, which is really neat. The whole gun comes apart. Here's the barrel and the flash hider. You can see all this stuff moves, all individual prints. Very nicely done model. The handle comes out, so we have our lower receiver. The trigger does come out. The handle grips are separate, so you could paint everything separately. It is a very cool design, and compared to my metal replica, basically all the parts are the same size. It's really, really good. So I'm very happy about this one. Pull all pieces in so you can see them. So yeah, this is my favorite one so far. I am working on printing out the Force Awakens sidearm, which is also quality-wise, as far as the parts and how clean everything is very similar to this, where it's just very intricate. All the pieces move really nice. The Force Awakens Stormtrooper blaster, which I had the files for, I haven't started to print yet. The classic E11 blaster. This is my hyper-firm copy, but just so you know what I'm talking about, it's basically going to look just like this. I have some of the pieces printed now, but not all of them. I got to go through and get them in. Once, like I said, as I'm doing other things, I kind of get a few pieces here and there. So I have those, Boba Fett's blaster and Leia's blaster from A New Hope. I'm making all those right now and looking for other files. So potentially, God, I can't remember the big machine gun that the Sand Troopers use, and just a couple other little googly things. But anyway, these blasters are great. I'm gonna put the links down below if you're interested in finding them. And yeah, it's pretty cool. But I'm not printing anything else for anybody for a little while. I have a list of stuff I have to print for people. I have found that owning a 3D printer is very much like having a pickup truck. Where when you have a pickup truck and people need anything moved, they will ask you because you have a pickup truck. And now, if I post a picture of a blaster online, I get 15 emails saying, hey, can you print that blaster for me? How much would it cost to print a blaster? Can you do that? And I said yes to too many people. So now I've got like this list of crap I got to print for other people. But I'm going to probably stop doing as much of that and maybe put my files in Shapeways or let them download these models themselves and put them on Shapeways and have Shapeways print it, because cost-wise, it's probably about the same as what I have to start charging, because it really sucks up a lot of my time to do this. So anyway, I'm going to stop griping. Put these down below. Go download them. Print them yourselves. They are awesome. And they're fun to do, fun to build. And all these models have been really good so far. I haven't had any that are real bad. So that's a good thing. So anyway, have a good night. Hopefully this was entertaining enough. If you guys want to see me building this stuff, let me know. Again, I'm going to paint and do all the finishing on these. If you guys are interested, just let me know below. If not, give me a thumbs down. I don't know. Anyway, see you guys soon. Bye.